Sonny, Joey, 500. Got some goats in the building.
Get ready for a shakedown.
Prepare for a shakedown. We from Philly where they clap like huddles when they break down. Get ready for a shakedown. We underdogs, my guy. Kinda used to all the hate now. Prepare for it, man. Y'all get it. My QB got swag. My wideout is award winning. This fly Eagles fly. Joey and 500. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Here's a quote you can sing back. Shake squad up and don't be a dingbat. It's a shakedown.
Don't you frown. Here comes the shakedown.
Let's go.
Yo, by the way, kick back here. Welcome to the Philly Shakedown podcast. With your host, Philly 500, Joey Shakes. Joey, what is happening, my man? What is going on?
I'm good. I apologize to everybody in the chat. I was late for the stream today. It wasn't Philly. It was me. I had a lot of shit to do the last couple of days, so I'm really sorry. I've been running around like crazy, so I'm sorry.
Don't worry. They blame me. It's always my fault anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's all good. But yeah, guys, welcome to the Shakedown. We got an interesting game tomorrow. An interesting game followed by maybe what could be a very busy, very exciting few days. It could be nothing happens. I mean, it's going to be kind of crazy. What are your thoughts, man? Where the Eagles kind of sit right now, going into this Jags game, and also, do you think win or lose this has any effect on what they do at the trade deadline?
I think regarding to the trade deadline, I think they're still looking. I still think they're looking for a specific position. I think there's still smoke screens out there. I know receiver was definitely one that was just talked about way too much. Safety comes up yet again. I don't know why the safety thing keeps popping up. So I think that's a big smoke screen right now. Do the Eagles have to win this game? I think so. Does it hurt them going forward? I think you want to stay on this momentum swing. Yeah, no doubt, to make it three straight, to make it a few games straight, no doubt. You want to get in this game and get out of this game as fast as you possibly can. Put in your backups as fast as you possibly can, because the next 2 weeks after this are going to be brutal, because you got to play Dallas on Sunday. And then you got to go to Washington, which is probably going to be one of the biggest Thursday night football games of the year in Philadelphia.
Is it in Washington or in Philly? I thought it was in Philly.
I think it's in Philadelphia. It's big.
Yeah, that's big. That's huge.
Yeah.
But that Thursday night, finally, I'm going to stream a Thursday night game. And it's, everybody's always going, why do these Thursday night games stink? They always put good teams against bad teams. They give the Eagles, they give a giant matchup. King of Kings, what's going on, man? He member for 21 months. Goes, hey, Joey, 500. We winning tomorrow. Yeah, I think we're winning tomorrow too. And I should say hi to the whole chat. I apologize, I didn't say that at the beginning. Dante, what's up? J-Dog, Jolo, Brian, Logan, MJ, Philly Oso, Stacy, Devin. Thank you guys for being here. JJ, Big Chris, anybody that I missed. Eagles has landed is here. PD Tad is here. Daz, Dave does. Thank you guys. Hunter, thank you guys so much for being here. We truly appreciate it. Do you have worries and fears that tomorrow's game is a trap game because of the Dallas game and then the Washington game?
It takes me back to the Jets game last year, where so many Eagles players took off this game of some of the little nagging injuries and overlooked the Jets last year. You guys remember, the Jets have never won against the Eagles in franchise history, and the Eagles have never lost to the Jets in franchise history. And that was broken last year, and a lot of players took off for that game. I think they were totally overlooked, and this could be the same thing with a lot of injuries to the Jaguars right now offensively. I forgot to give you the rank. I've just been so busy. I forgot to give you the ranking stats for the Jags this week, but we'll go over them. But this is one that it could potentially be at home. You better not look like that. No, I think this team gets shit from the fans and all around the world if honestly they win by a few points. What do you take from that? Do you think this is a team that they should be up 3 scores? Or do you think that if they keep it close, it doesn't matter as long as they win in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah, I mean, I think to me, it's just a matter of winning most importantly. But
yeah,
Jacksonville's a cornered. They're cornered. I mean, you got a situation where if you lose, you're 2-7, and your coach is probably, he's probably going to get fired. This could be literally getting fired. So, a team like that is always, I think, dangerous on some level because they're desperate. So you have to match that intensity, and come out. I think if the Eagles come out and go up like 10, something like that early, I think it's game's over. But I expect the Jags to come out and play for their damn lives. I really do. Mad Tight David Super Chat goes, this should be a double moonwalk on the ass. It should. Jacob David Super Chat goes, yo, 500, Joey. What's up? Get a pass rusher, baby. Yeah, that's going to be the way to do it. In my opinion, that's the deadline.
What was interesting? Go ahead, read that because it's important.
Chris Melnick, David Super Chat, my man. He goes, Philly Joe, I think they need to use Dotson on punt returns like how they used Deshaun Jackson back in the days. Godspeed. What are your thoughts? I don't honestly know how well he does punt returns. DeJean, I would like to see him off of punt returns.
Yes.
And hopefully Covey will be back somewhat soon, right? We got to be getting close. Yeah. So he should be coming back soon. And thank you so much for that super chat. What were you going to say?
Yeah. So regarding the trade deadline, like Fangio had some interesting things to talk about as well regarding like maybe he is changing the philosophy a little bit on how he should do during this trade deadline when it comes to the defensive side of the ball. If they're going after a pass rusher, saying that he has seen trades like the last 30 years that most teams that make trades for big names, big time players like that aren't very successful. It's like he's seen a lot of failed trades that looked like a hype train when it happens, but really fall down by the end of the year. So from what Fangio wants, the type of trade that he wants to switch a couple 6 rounders, maybe a 5th, 4th, 6th swap, something like that. He said he would rather keep what we have and produce. And that's really not a bad thing because Howie Roseman hasn't been, besides Jay Ajayi of recent years, he hasn't really been great in the in-season trades resume-wise. It hasn't really, Kevin Byard, some of these other guys we traded for, even like Golden Tate, even like little ones like that over the years haven't really worked out for us. So he would rather have a guy that they trade for a late-round pick that they could produce for a few years. And we talked about, Trevon Walker, Georgia guy, knows a lot of guys on the defense already, would probably fit here perfectly with 6 sacks for the season on a really bad team. Depends on who else they want to put in there, but Jalix Hunt, I think, should have more reps, should be in the rotation. I don't even think he had like 5 snaps. I don't know what he had last game against the Bengals, but it wasn't much. So I have to respect Fangio that maybe he's telling Howie, like, look, like, I know we want to go after the big fish right now, but probably let this defense keep growing. But maybe go after somebody that can keep in the building for a few years instead of giving up more draft capital and renting them for the year and wasting it, really.
Who do you think that could be? Like, who can you get in? You look at what was Zadarius, whatchamacallit, in Cleveland. He's a big name that they're talking about. He's a 1-year guy. And I do think he probably could help you, I think. But see, to me, I think the play is try to get Trevon Walker or Josh Allen because the Jags, if they lose again, they're 2-7. They're pretty much out. And remember, Walker's on a rookie year. He's going to get an extension. He actually has way more sacks than Josh Allen right now. So are they going to want to pay 2 guys up of 30, north of 30 each? So would you be able to see 2 guys like that would be long-term answers? That would be perfect, But this idea of, like, for me, like hearing like Budda Baker, the Eagles are players for Budda Baker. Like, why? To me, okay, Reed Blankenship isn't the best in pass play. He's not the greatest, but he's not a weakness. That is not going to significantly change your team. You need a pass rusher.
I agree.
Stevie goes, hey, Philly had some good laughs this week. Daniel Jones and Micah Parsons and Trevon Diggs. I know. It's I don't know what the hell's going on in Dallas. They got probably, like, Diggs is hurt now, right? Then Ezekiel Elliott's not going to play this week. He's got in trouble. So he didn't fly out with the team. Yeah, something happened with Zeke. So he was on the flight to Atlanta because of some disciplinary thing. So he ain't even playing. Not that he's any good. He stinks. But I think Dallas is utterly on the verge of collapse. If we take care of business this week, they take care of Dallas next week, I think they're done. Because I think that they lose Lamar and then they lose the Eagles. I think it totally collapses. We could literally end their year. I'm praying for that. Spill Milk, thank you for the super chat. Goes double moonwalk the Jags ass and steal Walker. Now you're talking. Now you're talking. I mean, to me, that would be the kind of play that would interest me. A lot of the players that have come around, especially receivers and safeties, I'm not interested in. And linebacker, I think you got to keep the linebackers and just let those guys play. They're playing good enough. Don't touch it. Don't mess with it right now.
No.
D1922, thank you for super chat. Goes, what up, Philly? Joey, how you Phil's doing? We're doing good, man. We're doing good.
I think you've messed with linebacker enough. You don't need to mess with it even more. Look, you got to keep what you have in-house and keep them playing. And Nakobe Dean's playing good right now. Zach Bond is your best linebacker right now. Trotter Jr. is kind of waiting for his chance. So, I mean, if you're looking at the trade deadline, you're looking at pass rush. You're looking at, we've heard depth maybe at corner or something like that. I don't even know what to believe anymore of what they're really looking for. I can see maybe a depth piece if they're not going for, I wonder what they're going to do with the Bryce Huff contract, what they really think of him as of right now, because he's really hit or miss. Like, he's been playing better, but it's really just throwing a bone at him for what he's been doing. He's been doing a lot more for what he's getting paid for. So it should be interesting. We'll see.
Did you see Reddick this past Thursday night?
Did he get any sacks?
Yeah, he had either a half or a full one, and he came close like 3 or 4 times. He looked really ready to go. It's like, damn, he didn't even miss a beat, man. He still might get 10 sacks this year. It's still gonna happen. Chris says, we don't need another tight end. Calcaterra's proved to be a good tight end. I think the tight end and the tight end situation is more. You would want somebody else that can block. Calcaterra is not a great blocker, but I think tight end gets taken care of in the draft. What about a running back? Would you, now that you're going to be focusing on running the ball more and more of a, would you add another running back by the trade deadline?
I don't know. I'm not really sure. It depends what they're looking for at a back. Are they looking for another dual threat? Are they looking for a bigger? Will they finally use a bigger back? Maybe a bruiser for red zone. Maybe, I don't know. I think Shipley needs more snaps. I think potentially he could fit in so much better in the passing game and could do some different things for us. They just really don't give him any opportunities. He got his touchdown taken away last week. It really sucked, but. I want to see more of that. I want to see him in the passing game. I think he's a huge mismatch. I think they're just missing a lot of opportunity when it's just Gainwell and Saquon Barkley. I just think they could do a lot more. I don't think they have to go after anybody else. No.
Yeah. But yeah. No, I hear you. Dave does says, I wanted to see what Shipley could do with the bigger one. I would like to see him get some snaps too. They're not going to, Barkley's still going to be your featured back, but now that they seem like they're gonna go with being a little more physical. You saw the whole thing with Lane Johnson, right? And some of those linemen going to the. What were your thoughts on that, man? What do you think about that?
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what changed after the bye week, because they've looked at. Fangio's defense is top 5 in a lot of categories right now. It even looks better than what he had in Miami at this point, which is kind of crazy, with a lot of new faces, took a lot of players out of position. But, we heard that Lane Johnson did go with a few offensive linemen. We're not even talking about the passing game. We're just talking about running the football, that they just needed to run the football a lot more. And that's great. We saw that Hurts and Nick were talking during the bye week, and we're like, what's going on? Is anything going to change? And it seems like some players are speaking up, and Nick is, he's got this open door policy. Players are going in there, and he's taking what the players are giving him. So that's a good thing that it seems like Nick is letting things just, last game, I think with that Bengals game, that was the most we've seen Nick really take that step back the most out of the season. So maybe he is open to more ideas and he's not being stubborn, so that's good.
That's great. Listen, in 2017, we did the same thing after that Giants game, the big field goal Elliott had. But after that game, before we went to I think we went to, I don't know if they were the LA Chargers or San Diego. I can't remember but we would go out to play the Chargers, and the offensive line went and talked to them and Doug and said, "Listen, we got to start running the ball more." And they remember how they started using LeGarrette Blount. And then what did they do? Because they started playing that style, they went out and added another running back. That's why I brought it up. Like, would they want another running back? Let's say a Hubbard, or Miles, or one of those guys shake free. Do you go out and bring it back? And so you have 3 guys rotating in. It's an interesting thought. I don't know if they would do it or not. Bubba says, go get that kid, Jonathan Cooper from Denver. Vic drafted the kid, and he knows the scheme. And the kid is 6'4", 257, and has already had 5.5 sacks, and he's young. Stay with the young movement. Yeah, I mean, anybody that you can get that, to me, is more than a 1-year guy, I think you do it. Otherwise, I think you just stay with the young guys because you don't want to stutter. Like, you don't want to stunt the growth of Nolan Smith. He looks like he's coming on. I think you got to go with the young guys. So if you get somebody that would come in and he's going to be here for 3-4 years, something like that, do it. I'm all for it.
The problem I have right now is that because of that Jahan Dotson trade, it made me really nervous for them to go out and get somebody. Now, it doesn't mean that Jahan Dotson has no talent. We know he does, but why are these wide receiver threes treated like the redhead stepchild? Like they get no attention whatsoever. It's actually so bad right now that Britton Covey still has more receptions with 7 more than Jahan Dotson right now. I mean, it's pretty bad. Like, I don't get why you trade for a guy like that. Even when you lost Devontae Smith and didn't have A.J. Brown, they never even tried to get him in the offense or design any plays for him. But Nick did have an answer for it and told us, that Dotson's good at the blocking. He's been blocking really well. I see him on the flat kind of waiting for the ball if it's going to come to him, but it's not going to. So, you kind of wonder what they're going to do there with, when they make trades like that, a 3rd and a 7th for Dotson, whatever it was, it makes you a little nervous to go after another player for more draft capital which they need next year. So, we'll see. But
yeah, no, I hear you. Demanding, thank you for the super chat. Goes, you all see Kelce slap a phone out of a fan's hand? Did you see that whole thing?
Yeah, it's dude, it's what that guy deserved it. Okay, but unfortunately, you can't get away with anything in today's world with everybody recording everything now. He's gonna get sued probably. I mean, I don't know if that's really assault. Probably not. I mean, took the guy's phone, slapped, threw it on the ground. So he's gonna get in trouble for that. He's not just a retired football player now. Now he's on Monday Night Football. He's doing this. He's got commercials. He's got sponsors. He's got all this going on now. That fan deserved it. Whoever that was, he deserved it. 100%.
I saw what happened, but let me ask. So he was said. What did he say? Something about his brother?
He said, why is Travis such a faggot for dating Taylor Swift?
Why is she a man?
No, just because everybody just feels the way they do about it. So,
he's not saying he's not saying she's a man. He's saying he's just like, okay. No,
people just don't. There's people that don't like Travis Kelce, but like I know from the video, like he tried, like he was getting heckled by this guy, and like he just tried, like he was keeping his cool, and he just lost it. So he could have done a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse.
Well, he's going to get in trouble. And now the guy's phone that he grabbed was definitely the guy saying it, right? It wasn't like he grabbed the wrong person's phone.
It was the guy. It was the guy that said it. Yes, 100%.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can't. On one level, I can't blame a guy for sticking up for his brother. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to happen, but he's always going to be looked at as being in the wrong because you just don't grab somebody's phone and just smash it because they say something. You know what I mean? It's not like they did something physical to him. Saying something, you just got to walk away. And wasn't he carrying around like a 18-pack of beer or something like that? It's just not a good look.
Not that it looked like, no.
What was he carrying? He was holding something. It looked like
maybe
a bunch of beer.
I don't know.
That's not a good look. So, it's not a good look for him. But I can understand getting pissed off somebody's heckling your brother. Or you about your brother? I mean, damn, it's your brother. Always protect your brother. Always protect your family. Always protect your friends. sometimes you got to do it even if they're in the wrong. You got to stand up for them. That's just how I see it.
I agree.
Bald Eagle David Super Chick goes, what players do we have that are more realistic to package in a trade? What players do we have that value that we could afford to let go? In terms of value, like if you wanted to trade, the only thing I really could think of that you have young players that you could get rid of is be like somebody like a Ringo, like one of those young defensive backs.
Eli Ricks,
because you have, but otherwise you would probably be looking to trade like Darius Slay. How much could you get for him? It's going to be really interesting watching Rodgers. I mean, like, what if Rodgers goes out and lights out? It's going to be interesting.
So the news is out that Slay could have played in this game this past Sunday, like this week, but he wants to look forward to, and be healthy for these next 2 division games that are coming up after Jacksonville, which I appreciate that. I think Slay's been dealing with an injury the last few weeks. I think he's had a nagging thing at this point of the season. Everybody's dealing with nagging injuries. Landon Dickerson is dealing with a wrist thing on top of a knee or whatever it was he was dealing with. That he has to probably get surgery on his wrist to kind of clean his wrist out. It's probably some just been getting hit so much, just the amount of time he's been playing. If Rodgers plays great, this is Rodgers. Now Rodgers had some interesting things to say too, because he actually mentioned like he wants to stay in Philadelphia. Like I don't think he wants to go anywhere else. Like this might be the place he wants to stay the rest of his career. So we'll see. I saw it, dude. Don't even read it. Don't even read it. Just pass it. That super chats like that. No, just skip it. Just skip it.
Thank you, Diddy. Give up my diggling, but I won't read it since I don't know what you're talking about. He keeps talking about this on my channel. 500. You need a shit. No, man, I'm growing a beard, dude. I'm growing my playoff beard.
A Santa beard.
No. And thank you for that super chat. Standing up, you're going to pick apart everything. No one really right. He shouldn't have even dealt with this slur. It's inappropriate setting him up. Everyone knows he's emotional. People say, exactly. That dude was definitely trying to rile him up. It's unfortunately, the way people look at it, it's like it's going to be everybody's at fault a little bit, But I could understand where Kelce's coming from, where somebody starts saying things to your family, you're going to want to protect your family. That's just naturally innate in everybody, So, Philly will always have Kelce's back, and that guy deserved it, says JMB. Trade deadline is on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tuesday, what? Is it it's Tuesday at 4 Eastern? Yeah. I think is a deadline. I honestly, I don't know. My gut tells me that nothing's going to happen. Like, I don't think anything big is going to happen. I think Howie will make the calls. I think he would try. But I think that they're set, and I really think that they're okay with letting these young guys play, especially the fact that over the course of the last 3 weeks, they seem like they're playing better and better. I don't think Howie's going to feel rushed. I mean, if they go out there and Jacksonville puts up no more than 17 points, I mean, why mess with it? That's how they're going to think about it, I think,
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know that they'll do anything. Seems that Slay's not even washed up. He's just a punk. Let's stop the trade narrative and just let him retire here.
He's not going anywhere.
Well, he's not going to retire here. That's not going to happen. He's going to go somewhere else next year and play. So he won't be back next year, but he will play somewhere. So he's not going to retire here. The question you have to ask yourself is, and Slay still can play. I agree. I think Slay played great until he got hurt last week. But the question is what is Isaiah Rodgers? Is Isaiah Rodgers somebody that you want to keep and keep him long term? And how do you make that judgment? You got to get him on the field. So I don't think it's a negative towards Slay or people just wanting to run him out. I think the fact that most people know he's going to be gone after this year, and you want to know if it's worth signing Rodgers.
Yeah, I think getting a head start on instead of waiting till a new number 2 comes in next year, Quinion being the number 1, you want to put in somebody now would save you a lot of trouble going into next offseason, in a lot of reasons. But Isaiah Rodgers is a starter in the league. I mean, not even that, but has a
Close your eyes. I'm going to read this comment because he's really upset. Let me just get this out for him. Hey, Joey, you saw your DM. What did you mean when you asked my Bussy can handle? Was that photo of baby oil sent on accident? I'm so confused. It was sent on accident. There you go. So it's red. Now you don't have to be mad anymore. Okay. I'm going to be answering YouTube. He wants a refund. Fabio David Super Chat goes, have you watched the Sproles interview yet? Yeah, I saw the Sproles interview.
What's
very,
that?
very interesting. Where Sproles was talking about the Carson. He's with Deshaun Jackson and McCoy on their podcast. So talking about Carson Wentz and how Carson, when Foles won the Super Bowl, decided that he didn't want to run the same offense ever again because that's what they won the Super Bowl with. He wanted something else. He didn't want it because that was what they won with Foles. And, just issues that came up with Carson Wentz. I don't think he liked them all that much.
A lot of people didn't like. I don't think a lot of people. He tried to bring the morale down in the locker room. I fully believe
he also
that.
talked about how he would be open, and instead of dumping the ball off to him or check it down, he'd only go to Ertz, and he would just look for Ertz.
That's true.
Yeah, it is true. No doubt about it. So I did see it. It was pretty interesting. Let's see. You got to read the Super Chats file. I read them. I read it. Cujo, thank you for the Super Chat. He goes, the Eagles need a backup quarterback. If Hurts goes down, the Eagles are done. How often have the Eagles relied on a backup quarterback? Feely, Garcia, Foles, and the Eagles don't have the right now. Hurts isn't invisible. Who are you going to get? I mean, the way the Eagles look at it, they're thinking they already have a backup. I don't think they do. I agree with you, but what backup quarterback's available?
No,
I don't even know who you get.
And if you want a valued backup quarterback, you got to pay for it. And the Eagles don't want to pay for it. They want to pay. They don't want to pay for over $5 million for a backup. They don't want to do it. They don't want to do it.
Yeah. Observer says Rossini's reporting Giants are shopping Aziz Ojulari. Maybe they could make a move. That would be an interesting move. Would the Giants want to trade them to their rivals? That's what I have to wonder. You know what I mean? I don't know. Aaron Jones says, I actually doubt we'll get anyone this year. If we do, it's that Browns defensive end or Budda Baker. Anyone else, I doubt. Maybe what's his face? Zadarius Smith, but I don't know. Budda Baker, I can't see that, honestly. I can't see it.
No, it makes no sense.
Yeah. Go ahead, Smoke it, David Super Chat. He goes, Bryce Huff's last chance to prove himself. I don't think so. When you get the money he's getting, I don't know. I don't know how you could do that, So
it's funny because when they really had enough of Bryce Huff was really that Saints game. They took him, they literally benched him that game pretty much. And they moved Milton to Milton to the outside. They moved Brandon Graham on the inside. And they played better, but not worth the money right now. No, but he's a lock right now. He has to play. They can't not play him. He's got to play.
Yeah. So. Skidmark says, hey, 500. Hey, Joey. Hope everything's going well. Do you guys see a difference in Slay this year? Having Chauncey Gardner back this year in 22. In 22, Slay had a Pro Bowl year last. I don't think Slay's having a Pro Bowl year, but I don't think he's having a really I don't think it's as bad as last year. That's just me. But it is what it is. King Eagle says, hey, 500, if Isaiah Rodgers wins the NFC Player of the Week, what do the Eagles do? Sign him, or do they let him walk and get paid elsewhere? I have a feeling he's going to seize the opportunity Sunday. See, that's what I'm saying. If Rodgers goes out there and plays good, I think he's going to, I don't know. And he's playing even close to where you think Slay's playing. How could you put Slay back in? You've got to play Rodgers because you have to figure out he's on a 1-year deal. You've got to figure out whether to keep. I want to keep Rodgers. I want Rodgers, Quignon, and Cooper. I want those to be your main corners long term. That would be fantastic. But you got to play. I think you got to play him. To me, if he plays well, you got to keep playing him. It doesn't matter. Like I have a feeling I would not be surprised right now if he takes a starting job and runs with it.
You have a lot of interesting. Howie Roseman's got a lot of interesting decisions to make at the end of the year. So, like, I think Isaiah Rodgers would be a good re-sign because I think he's better than Keely Ringo right now, and that's just me saying that because Ringo, I think he brings a physical presence, but I just don't think his coverage is up there yet. And obviously, being thrown to these games in the heat of the moment because of injury, like he did a few weeks ago, like. What is he gonna look like when he comes in? He hasn't played this year, but I think Isaiah Rodgers, would be a big upgrade. So, you don't have to pay Quignon right now. You don't have to pay DeJean right now. So you have the time to sign him to a 3-year deal or something like that, or even a 2-year deal in Philadelphia. That signing, Zach Bond, and if, they want to move Mekhi Becton to right tackle after Lane goes in a couple of years, if that's going to be the plan, then you re-sign Mekhi Becton and Tyler Steen. That's an interesting situation with Tyler Steen now because you can, if Lane retires in a couple of years and you can at least re-sign Mekhi Becton, then great. You got your starting offensive line back again, so there's a lot of interesting decisions that Howie's going to make. Are they going to pay Milton Williams? There's going to be a lot of interesting decisions that he's going to make. I think Isaiah Rodgers should be re-signed. I think he should. I'm actually on board with it, to be honest.
I think you got to resign him. I would try to resign him right now. I wouldn't even waste time, so it'll be interesting. Eric, thank you for the super chat. He goes, did Slay sign a 2-year deal? I thought it was 3. No, I think it was a 3-year, but I think 3. I think the way it's set up, they could get out of it. And they might want to because of the money and stuff like that. You got young corners that can play. I just don't see how you can keep them off the field. Bald Eagle David Super Chat goes, people saying B Young don't know how tall our line is. Bryce Young, is he really available? Like, are the Panthers really gonna trade him already? I guess it's possible. I mean, he got benched. Richardson just got benched in Indy. I mean, they give up on these quarterbacks,
Well, I think
is he the answer though? I don't know.
Well, I think part of it too is that they're leaving. They're not playing a full 4 years in college. They're leaving too early. I think that's the big thing. They're leaving too early. They're not ready yet, and I think that's what a lot of these quarterbacks are leaving college way too early. But that could be a part of it too. So
yeah. Bubba says the Chiefs are looking to trade for Lattimore. Really. Well, listen, they're in the middle of, a run. You have to just, I mean, if you're the Chiefs, you got to think, we got Patrick Mahomes. We keep winning the Super Bowl already. Like, if you're ever going to go all in and try to keep winning, this is the time to do it. No? Bryce Young not ready. I don't know. Like, how much Bryce Young is really that much better than Kenny Pickett? I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't think he would be the answer, So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is in terms of backup quarterback. And I don't know who's out there that you can bring in that would, really be, somebody put you over. Bryce says, got a couple tough games, but got to play good tomorrow, not play down. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. You got to take care of business tomorrow, and then you got 2 big divisional games coming up. If the Eagles could get Walker for a second, Howie pulled the trigger, I think Jacksonville wants a first. If you're Jacksonville, you're going to want a first. And I would consider it. He's 23 years old. By all means, do it.
True.
She's a young is on trade block. I love Bryce Young as backup. I don't know what I think of Bryce Young. I really don't, because part of me thinks that, man, he was set up to fail in Carolina, and they pulled the plug on him way too fast.
I agree.
Yeah, Chris B says the Buda Baker to Eagles rumors are cap. Why would the Cardinals trade when they in first? I don't know. I mean, there's been talk for like the last 2.5 years that he was going to get traded. So I don't know what the deal with him is. But I don't look at Budda Baker and say, well, that's going to help your team out a ton. I don't think it does. I think you need a pass rusher more than anything. 500. If we want anything close to Hurts, then I would try to go after Fields. Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. They could have had Fields this whole season if they really wanted him. I mean, they didn't want him. But I agree. I would have taken a shot on Fields. I would have brought Fields in and let him be behind him because I think he's got some talent.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So let's see here. Ryan says he'd give up a first for Walker in a heartbeat. Yeah. I would strongly consider it. Damn, can we be the reason Doug gets canned? It could happen. I mean, that could be Doug's last game. If they lose. I mean, they say he's really on the verge of being fired. And I feel bad for Doug. I think Doug's a good coach, but I think Doug ties he ties himself to guys like Press Taylor. Like, why is Press Taylor your offensive coordinator there when he had the same issues that he has here? The Eagles wanted him to part ways from Press Taylor. He wouldn't do it. He didn't want to let him go. And Doug left to eat Philly. Then he goes to Jacksonville. He brings him back in as offensive coordinator. And look, I think it's kind of crazy, to be honest with you.
No, I mean, he's just a guy. He's just a coach that just never really changed his ways. And, Jeffrey Lurie didn't like that. And, that's why it's different from Doug. I feel like the ultimatum was given the same to Nick. Really, we didn't know if he was going to be on this team or not after last season. Fire both your coordinators. So that's what he did. And obviously, open to a lot of change. And that's what happened. So, yeah.
Yeah. Derek says, anyone who openly expresses desire to be here their entire career are the ones I want here in Philly. Rodgers has done that. Yeah, no, I totally get it. Listen, I think Rodgers going to have a great chance tomorrow to go out and have a really good game. And he, like you said, if he does it, I'm not changing it. It's like, look how much Cooper DeJean changed the defense when he went in for Vontae Maddox. I mean, if these young guys are playing good, it seems like we get more out of our young guys. They just seem hungrier in general to me, and I just keep using them, dude, especially on defense.
When you stack up Isaiah Rodgers next to Slay, like his play is way different because he just plays more physical and he's not afraid to hit a specific way, and his mindset is just different. You don't see Isaiah Rodgers smile on the field, and there's just little things about Darius Slay I just really don't like. He's not having a bad year at all this year, but there's just things that I don't like it, man. Like, I don't like when you go into certain games, you're getting blown out and you're just talking about random things. I don't get the mindset in some of these games that they have.
Well, you post your stats, your career stats afterwards.
Oh, dude. If he had a good game, he'll throw everybody under the bus. If he has a bad game, he restricts his comment section where no one can comment on any of his tweets. He does that. I don't know why he does that. It's just I hate that.
Character. Yeah. Matthew says, I thought that Anthony Richardson's post-game comments were super idiotic. Shows a lack of self-awareness. Perhaps he can use his benching as an opportunity to become a better player. I guess. I mean, to me, I think about it like this. If Andy Reid was the head coach and he said those things, would Andy Reid bench him? And I think Andy Reid wouldn't. I think Reid would go and talk to him and make it like a whole experience that you're going to learn from. But to bench the guy over those stupid – and it was dumb to try to take yourself out because you're tired. I mean, it's crazy. But I don't know that you bench him over that. I think that's I think that's how you ruin a kid more than help him. You got to talk to him, build him up, explain to him what he did wrong and things like that. And I just don't think Andy Reid would ever bench him because of that. Bald Eagle David Super Chat. He goes, why did my girl's phone vibrate when Joey was on his phone? You'll have to ask Joey. You have an answer to that?
No, I got no answer. No, I got no answer.
Let's see here. So in this game, man, what are your concerns? Well, you look at like going up against the Jags. What are you worried about? What worries you?
I mean, honestly, the Jags are 2-6 right now. Offensively, they've been pretty much average to this point. I don't know if they have Anthony, their starting running back in this game. I don't know if they have him playing.
I don't think he is playing.
They don't. They got Bigsby. They don't have their starting running back. They don't have they just traded their starting left tackle to the Vikings. They're out 3 receivers, I think, on for tomorrow. This defense could have another, 5+ sack, day on Trevor Lawrence. I mean, they're the defense for the Jags. I think they're ranked 9th against the run, so they're pretty good against the run as of right now. But they're dead last in points. They give up a lot of points. They're almost dead last against the pass too. So it's not a great football team, but this is a team you just can't overlook, man. You just can't overlook it.
And they're without Christian Kirk, right? He's really the biggest weapon. So yeah, I mean, I worry about if I'm Jacksonville, I'm running and running.
Yeah.
So I'm going to run the ball a lot tomorrow, try to keep the Eagles offense off the field, and do that. I think they said Bigsby has had like 75+ yards in like 3 or 4 straight games. So I think that's the way they're going to go about it. Cycle said, Kyle says, Philly going to be at the Eagles Cowboys game week. Oh, you are? That's cool.
Nice.
That'll be it's going to be a huge game. It's going to be a huge game because I think we could bury Dallas on the year. And thank you for the super chat. Bubba says, I got a question. If we continue to win, do you think Nick is back next year? God, I hope not. Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah, most likely.
I think if we win 12, 13 games, go to the playoffs, get to the second, win a playoff round, I think he's back. I do. The question is, will we have to change coordinators again?
Yeah, that's going to be the big question. Yeah.
Will we be changing? What you call it? Eric Bull, welcome to Dingbat Nation, man. Thank you so much for joining, man. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Marquis, they were super chat. He goes, if we get up by 20 or more tomorrow, would you want to rest the starters in the 4th or practice some of your trick plays? Also try different blitz packages. No, I think if you're up significant tomorrow by the 4th quarter, I think you pull the players. I don't think they're going to mess around. Not with the Dallas game coming up and then Washington. I mean, you're going to have Dallas and then Washington. So yeah, you need the rest of those guys if you can.
You missed the super, by the way, I think.
Oh, I did. Oh, let me see here. Oh, I did. Christopher, thank you. Thank you so much for the super chat. It says, does Joey ever smile? Somebody click this picture.
Yo, shut the fuck up. God, you're so annoying.
Frankie says, Michael Thomas has been really good for them. There's no doubt. Now, he was banged up too all week at practice. So I don't know what his health is either, but he's having a good year. There's no doubt. All 3 of their running backs are hurt. Yeah, they're banged up. I'm telling you, but they're desperate. And when you got them backed into a corner, I mean, there's only one way to go. So you got to be careful, man. I think if the Eagles jump on them early, I think they're going to blow them out. If we go to our typical first quarter stuff, don't score, and then it'll be a little closer,
Yeah.
Porterville says, limit the wide receiver screen play calls, and we should win by 3 scores. I know, right? Now, I think the Eagles, I think they're coming out throwing. Because the Jags secondary sucks. It sucks. And I think the Eagles, I think it's too much of a mismatch. And I'm okay with it. You know why I'm okay with it? Because the play action will work. Because the way you use Barkley the last 3 weeks, it will work. You know
what? I think they're the 3rd highest team that plays man-to-man coverage that I read today as well. So they play a lot of man-to-man, and that's gonna be a nightmare for them defensively.
This could be a Jahan Dotson breakout game. Don't be surprised.
Okay. All right. Until I see it.
Yeah. Jacob, they were super chat goes, I just hope Nick doesn't get pass happy because the Jags are bad against bad. They were talking about it. Perfect timing. That's what scares me. No, I get it. But, like a lot of times, like the thing that bothered me about their passing game, the Eagles, and why it frustrated me when they come out pass, is because the play action didn't have any effect. There was no threat of a run game. Teams aren't worried about what they're going to do in the run game, and they become very one-dimensional. Because of the way you've been using Barkley, teams are going to be nervous as hell. So that play action, even if it's early in the game, should be able to work. So I think that if they do come out and pass this game, I think they'll be okay. I do. You still got to use Barkley. You still have to have a balance. You still have to go back to it, But if it starts to become where every week they're coming out throwing 30 times a game, 40 times a game, then it becomes a problem.
Yeah, they got off easy that Bengals game because they didn't have the ball much of the first quarter. So, they got to start fast.
Christian says, love Doug to death, but we got to give him the business. I agree. Oh, good. Look, Diddy Dingling is still here. I was like, where's he at? I don't see him. He got mad. We love you. Dad says, yeah, Vic said his last coaching job, Moore will get a head coaching spot if we go 13-4. I think Vic stays. I think Kellen Moore goes. I do.
Man.
I think Kellen Moore goes. And then who are we gonna get? Oh, look, it's Nick Sirianni's younger brother, Cliff Sirianni.
Cliff Sirianni. It goes to high school or some shit.
You know what I want to see? You know what my dream scenario is tomorrow? I don't think this ever happened. I think this has actually happened in baseball before, but I don't think it's happened in football. Like, we're blowing them out. Like, it's like 34-7, late third quarter. And I want to see, like, the camera showing Howie Roseman and how he's, like, walking. What the hell?
he's
and how he's walking, and it's like he's walking across the field, like the back of the end zone, and he goes over to the Jaguars side of the field, and he's like talking, and all of a sudden they like point to Travon Walker and like, come on, like, come on, let's go. Yeah. And then they trade the player, and like he's got to go, like, during a commercial break, he has to go across the sideline, put on his Eagles cap, and he's now like, how cool would that be? That would be unprecedented, dude. Bobby Damer Super Chat goes, sad day in Philly after Pederson gets fired Sunday. Yeah, I hear you. 500 Fan says he isn't leaving. He said this was his last stop. Yeah, I don't think he's leaving. He's not the one I'm worried about leaving. I'm worried about the offensive coordinator leaving, Carlos Davis Super Chat goes, I don't think they will resign Nick. It's his last year of his contract. Maybe keep him in the building, probably. I don't know. I don't know. I think they keep him, I mean, the players like him for whatever reason.
They do.
MP says 500, are you doing the Cowboys-Falcons game before the Eagles game? Yes, sir. I'm doing it. It's done. So, yeah, I'll be able to do, like, I'm going to do that game in the morning, then the Eagles game, then we could go right into the post game. So we get done somewhat early. Yeah. Before our show comes on.
Yes.
They need to test out more of their under center play action. Yeah, I don't mind that. Hey, Joey looks like a 1970s porn star. He doesn't even have a Fu Manchu. He doesn't have let me see, you have a big mustache? Now you have to have mustache or sideburns. Bald Eagle Daver Super Chat. He goes, Jets had 3 of their defensive backs hurt last year, and we passed. I know. That Jets game was that was an utter collapse. That game.
They're gonna want, like, I really hoping they're, like, because of how bad the secondary is for the Jags, they're going, or how bad they are against the pass, they're gonna pass the ball so much to try to get that early lead. This way they could at least try to bench some of their guys as early as they possibly can.
Dude, this dude's upset. Dude, what is with him and you? I don't understand.
I don't know who this is.
Dude, all Thursday, all my chat Thursday, like, he's talking about Joey and oil. I don't know what he's talking about. Ding, Diddy's diddled my dingling. Thank you for super chat. Joey smiled once it was when he oiled my. Oh,
You keep bringing his shit up.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
This is the hardest I've seen you laugh. Why is this so funny?
I don't know, because it's just ridiculous. It's like I spent like my whole chat like on Thursday. He kept posting. I'm like, what is he talking about? Oh man, we got the best chat. Chris, thank you for the super chat. Don't let this be another Jets game. No, I don't think it's going to be. I don't think so. Let's see. Skidmore says, I have a feeling that it's going to be Nick, Doug, and Nick after this year. At least we have the same coaches for a while. If the Eagles win 13 games, you think Kellen Moore's back?
Not as a coordinator, unless he wants to stay as a coordinator for another year. I think he's been hungry for a head coaching job, but if he gets one from another team, if other teams have interest, I don't know, but they can't block him from getting that job somewhere else. If it's an upgradable job, yeah, they can't. There's nothing they can do. But you're back to square one if he's gone, and you're back to square one of getting another. I don't know. It's like hitting the reset button all over again.
Yeah, I want to keep him. I don't want to let him go. Bobby Davis super chat. He goes, they can keep Nick to carry the jock strap around. Yeah, I mean, listen. I don't think they're going to fire Nick. And then
no, I don't
Nick
either.
goes. I mean, not at this point. I mean, look, who knows? The rest of the season's long. If you have a collapse like you did or something like that, if that happens again, then yeah, of course. But like, it seems like the fact that he listens to players really right the ship. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see. Let's see. Brooks, thank you for super chat. He goes, who would you start in fantasy football? Downs or Zay Flowers? I would go.
I don't even know who they're facing this week. I don't know who they're facing this week.
Who's Baltimore playing? I forget who they're playing, but I like Flowers though. Let me see. Maurice says, I can't wait till the Eagles-Cowboys game so Mark Holmes can cry like a baby and get the revenge from last year. Yeah, I agree. He said he was saying that he thinks they're going to beat Atlanta now. So now that he's ready to go, they're going to beat Atlanta. So we'll see tomorrow. Jacob Davis Super Jacobs, bold prediction: Eagles score in the first, and Short steals another man's wife. Who's Short? Who's Short? Thank you for super chat. I don't know who Short is.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Let me go through these. Elaine, what's going on? How are you? Oh my gosh. Do you guys think we could get to the Super Bowl? I thought the season was over a few weeks ago, but my faith is. I honestly think we can. Like, personally, I feel like the NFC is wide open. I do think Detroit's playing the best football right now. They may be the best team in football altogether. But I think if we play the style of play that we're playing and the defense continues to get better, I think we've got a shot. I'm not saying it's the greatest shot in the world, but I think we've got a puncher's chance. So I do think we got a chance, I do. What about you? You think we got a chance?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even really thinking about that. It's really what this team's going to look the rest of the regular season. Like, I think they'll be in the playoffs, no doubt. They should, of the way they're playing right now. But, how, can they? It really depends on these other teams. Like I said, like Tampa Bay and some of these other teams are, that are kind of desecrating on injuries right now. And, Detroit's obviously a big team right now to see what they're going to look like going, what they look like later on. So, we'll see, man.
Yeah. Elaine, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. C-Tate, Davis for chat. Nolan getting 2 more tomorrow and establishing his role as our future edge. Nolan Smith has played well over the last few weeks. I hope he gets more. Yeah, I hope he gets 2 more. 2 more would be huge,
Yeah.
Let's see here. Cool news out there. Hurts with Jeffrey Lurie and Saquon Barkley played golf with former President Obama Wednesday. Hurts just watched because his contract does not let him play. Okay, I guess. That's fine. Jacob Davis super chat. He goes, Joey autocorrect. Sorry. Okay. All right, Joey. I was like, well, I don't know who sure he is. Elaine says, do you guys know what happened to Zeke Elliott? Something about a disciplinary action not playing this week. Mark's probably had. Oh, I'm sure Mark's very upset about that. I don't know what happened. They just said that he didn't make the trip to Atlanta because of disciplinary action. I have no idea what that is. So no, I don't know. Yeah, we change the clocks tonight, don't we?
Yeah, Sunday. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, Sunday we change the clock. No,
tonight. I think it's tonight.
Yeah, it is tonight. Extra hour sleep. Woo.
Yeah. Do you guys think we will get Budda Baker from the Cards by the deadline? No. I mean, you get Budda Baker, so we're benching Reed Blankenship then. I mean, that's what you're doing, right? I mean, I don't see it happening. I don't even understand the Budda Baker rumors.
We don't even know what's happening with Bradbury when he comes back. Like, he doesn't even deserve a roster spot at this point. Like, he's not playing corner. Safety stacked right now. Sidney Brown's coming to the mix. Like, Trisha McCollum maybe going to practice. I don't know. I mean, you already have Maddox as a backup safety. I mean, what's going on with Bradbury? That's the question when he comes back. They could try to trade him. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, that's what I'm saying. Are you going to bring Budda Baker in? I mean, I think there's holes in Reed's game and pass coverage. But I don't think he's been that bad where you got to look to bench Blankenship. So, like, why get Budda Baker? If you're going to go out and get somebody, get a pass rusher, get something that will immediately help the team. That's how I feel. It's like last year when they got what's his face from Tennessee, the safety. I can't remember his name. Byard.
Byard.
So they get Byard from and listen, we needed safety help more than we need it now, and it didn't do anything for us. Didn't help us at all. I really think that a Budda Baker move would have just as much impact.
Do you
remember
what they gave up for Byard? Do you remember?
Is
anybody in the chat know? Let us know.
I would say like a 4th or something like that.
Yeah, I thought it was a mid-round pick. Yeah,
something like that. Polska Trucker David Super Chat. He goes, I would be careful with these wins. We've played 3 of the worst teams in the league. I would like to see play against teams above 500. Well, we beat Green Bay. They're above 500. Mm-hmm. To me, it's not so. See, because I guess here's how I look at it. And I get what you're saying. I totally understand what you're saying. And you're right. You're right. You got to play better teams. But, like, to me, the problem wasn't the Eagles talent-wise or they couldn't be good teams. It was the style and it was how they were playing football. Our biggest problem was never what the other team was doing to them. It was what they were not doing. You know what I'm saying? So to me, when I look at it, it doesn't matter who the team in front of them is, because if they're playing a certain style and committing to the run and having some sort of balance, I think that's what is exciting. That's what we're building upon. Yeah. And that's what they weren't doing. They weren't losing to teams earlier in the year. Like, they didn't lose to Atlanta because Atlanta was more talented than them. That's not why they lost. They didn't lose to Tampa because Tampa was better than them. They lost because of the style of what they were doing to themselves. Yes. In my opinion. That's the difference.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, Detroit's got to be the best team in football right now. But I think that they could be peaking way too early. See, Tate Davis Super Chat. He goes, if we play soft shell cover 3, we will get burnt. We have to man up. T-Law is a killer against zones. Some predictions from y'all. I think the Eagles are going to win. I think the Eagles are going to win this game. I think what I said in my preview, I think it was like 34-13, somewhere around there. I think they'll win. I think they're going to beat the crap out of this team tomorrow. Somebody asked me over under sacks. I'll say 3. Over under 3. What do you think the final score is going to be?
I think they score over 30 points. They should. I mean, I would say, maybe 17. Maybe they score like a field goal. Maybe in the beginning of the fourth quarter. Then Eagles kind of take over the rest there. I don't know. I mean, I think they'll score over 30 points. They should. They should have a nice lead. So we'll see.
Yeah, Bubba says, now look at Bart Bowling. He's ranked third best safety football. Yeah, but that's like that just goes to the point Vic Fangio was making, that trading for a player mid-season coming in just never seems to really work out. You got a guy who has a whole off seasons around a certain defense. It's always a little different. That's why, if I'm going to go out and make a trade, I want a guy that I'm going to have for a few years, not just 1 year. I mean, really, how many guys really work out? Like you talked about earlier, right? They don't. Jay Ajayi was really good for us, but who else? I mean, geez. I mean, what about the receiver they got from Detroit? Why can't I think of his name right now?
Golden Tate.
Golden Tate was a really good receiver. Left the Eagles and still was able to produce. Like, came to Philly, did nothing. It's just different when you trade for guys midseason. So, it doesn't surprise me.
I think he's trusting his process of like his defense. It just, like I said, it's taking time. Like, we knew that the defense was going to have growing pains like as soon as the season started, just because there's a lot of new faces. I say this over and over again. He took a lot of players out of position, a lot of new faces, new DC. It's the same somewhat scheme, but you're getting the master class act of this is the Fangio scheme. This is the guy that's the master class at it. So it's just been taking a long time. We didn't have Cooper DeJean in the defense for a while. Maddox was a liability in the secondary for a long time. It was just a buildup. The pass rush seems to be, they're actually rushing as a group. They're containing a lot better. It just takes time, man. Like, just getting a player just because he had these statistics on that team, it doesn't mean anything,
Yeah, exactly.
But
Eric, thank you for super chat. He goes, remember the Robert Quinn trade? No trade needed. Yeah, I mean, he was shot though, but like, he had 17 and a half sacks the year before.
Mm-hmm.
You were thinking, when he went to Philly, I was thinking, if he could just be 50% of what he was, just get his half that.
Wasn't even that.
He couldn't even do that. Bald Eagle David Super Chat goes, does a team pick up the full contract if they sign from your practice squad? Only justification for trading for Buka is moving Bradbury down to the practice squad. No, I don't think you pay. I think it actually depends on. I don't know for sure, but I kind of think it depends on how many years you've been in the league. I think what it's about. So I think it depends on how many years. J Dogs will stop ignoring me, dude. That's literally the first comment I have seen from you. Like, you disappear.
It's not. No.
Okay. Because I wonder sometimes, like, does he disappear and then come back? And that's like the first comment.
No.
Bar says, we want Ajayi, not a Robert Quinn scenario. Agreed. Ross of Found says, do chicks dig the clown? My mom said it scared her. No, I think clowns scare people. I think most people are scared of clowns. Not me, but
I'm not.
Oh boy, here we go. Diddy diddle my dingling. Thank you for the super chat. Joey, how long is the show? Can't keep my chain down here for longer than 2 hours without a water. Remember safety word. Bring the oil. ASP. I don't know what did he do. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't even understand what he's talking about. Dude, Joey's going to double moonwalk that ass. Would you want Adam Thielen from the Panthers and you think he's better than Dotson? No, I don't want Thielen. Thielen's old.
Yeah, no.
No. Leon Banks, member for 11 months. Thank you so much. How bad will the country become when it's pound Trump? You put me in a situation. I can't answer that without getting like madly suppressed, but it'll be ugly. But let's move on. Vic is the only one that can run his scheme, his disciples. Yeah, I mean, I think Vic is doing a good job, and I think he likes the young guys he has. I would like to see Jalen Hunt play more. Still think you have a problem with Huff. He has not really turned it on. So, I like I said, if you can get a pass rusher that's going to be somebody that can actually be a part of the team the next few years, then I'm good with that. Dylan Jordan, thank you for super chat. He goes, glad the defense is playing better, but Nolan Smith covering Chase in the end zone was stupid. I know that's very frustrating, but that's part of his defense that just drives me nuts. He loves to drop those guys back into coverage.
Yeah, I mean, it's happened multiple weeks. I mean, Malik Neighbors, they had Sweat on him the first play in coverage, and they had Brandon Graham on Malik Neighbors as well. Like, I want Jalen Hunt to play because I feel like he's the only end that can actually drop in coverage and actually do something on the perimeter. And still, he's slowly putting him in the rotation, but it's just not enough, man. Like, I want him to play more. So bad.
Let's see. How can anyone be down on Dotson? He gets so few targets.
Oh.
Well, that's the thing. Like, and that was why I don't understand like we talked about this like a week. Like, this week it's Budda Baker. Last week it was Cooper Kupp and what's his face? Hopkins. The Eagles are interested in them. Like, why? If you get a third wide receiver, you don't use them anyways. To me, Dotson's talent, that's not the problem. The problem isn't Dotson. The problem is the Eagles don't incorporate the third receiver well. Whether you want to say that's Hurts, you want to say that's the coach, whatever. They don't use them right,
No, like that's
so why do it?
That's why I'm saying when you have injuries, like what do you have to rely on some of these other guys, which we've had Devontae Smith and AJ Brown miss some games, so they never incorporate any. It makes you nervous. What if it's down to having Jahan Dotson make a big play if someone gets injured or something down the line? Knock on wood, but there's no chemistry. Like 8 weeks in, and like there's nothing there. Like there's nothing.
Yeah. Dude, I can't say like there's all these political stuff in there. If I say anything that I want to say, I get throttled for weeks. I literally get throttled for weeks on YouTube. They start demonetizing all my stuff. Have to be manually looked at. It's a big.
It's probably happened already. I'm gonna check. It's probably
already happened. But it's like and listen, the side that I want to say, the things I want to say will get me very suppressed. And if you understand what I'm saying, then you understand where I'm at and what my thinking and views and all that are. But I will get suppressed saying what I want to say. So I just can't do it. With Barkley, Dotson, don't block, good to have him out there. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying he's a great blocker, but in terms of being a receiver, they don't use him. Dylan Jordan, member for 14 months. Thank you so much. He goes, to really evaluate Huff, he has to be in more. Well, what kind of, like, how many, do you know what his snap count has been?
Whose?
Do you know what his snap count was like last week, Huff? Like, is he losing significant amount of snaps right now?
I haven't seen the report. I don't remember a report coming out on the snaps. I don't know how much he played. He definitely played a good amount last week. I've seen him in there, but there was a couple plays where I think the third. I don't know if it was the 3rd and 22. Maybe not that play. Maybe it was that play. I'm not sure. Like he got tackled on the ground a couple times in that game. Like there's some games where he just like gets manhandled. I don't get it.
Yeah. No. J-Dokes is a big what? I don't know. I do not know. I don't know. Bradbury's going to come back 40 pounds heavier and play edge. Yeah, right? Let's see here. 500, in my opinion, we don't need to trade for anybody. We're balanced on both sides of the ball. Yeah, I can live with not making a trade. We're going to need some production from Huff at some point. Or you're going to need Jalen Hunt to start getting involved. But I'm okay with that. Like, I would rather not do anything and let the young guys play than go out and get a veteran who is going to take snaps away from somebody young.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's what's going to happen.
Ian 890, what's going on, man? How are you?
Up, Ian?
Ryan says Huff had 22 snaps, 38% total defensive snaps. No, I think that's about what Jordan Davis had too. I think Jordan Davis is around the 20s, something like that. Let's see. You think Nick game plans for more than one guy this Sunday? What do you mean? What do you mean game plans for more than one guy? Like, you mean like defense, like who on deep? Like, I don't know. Like, what do you mean by? Do you know what he means by that?
No, I mean that could mean multiple things. I mean, like, I don't know if he means like game playing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Let's see here. Jordan Davis also had 22. Okay, yeah, Jordan had 22 last game too. Yeah, that's what I thought. Let's see. Rodgers should have been starting alongside DeJean and Mitchell from the beginning. Wouldn't that have been nice? Like, I really curious to see how Rodgers plays. Like, if Rodgers goes out there and gets, like, let's say he gets a pick six, man, has a big day. I mean, they're not gonna rush what's-his-face back at all. They're not rushing him back.
No, I mean, I don't think they'll have the balls to bench Slay. I don't think that'll ever happen. Regardless, he could have 3 pick sixes on Sunday, and it probably won't change anything. But
yeah, yeah. He says it's either an AJ game, a Smitty game, or Barkley game. Been doing it for years. Now, I mean, I think you'll continue to see them do what they've done. You know. If you look at last week, I mean, AJ had a nice game, but I thought Devontae Smith had a nice game. I mean, I thought it was pretty balanced last week, really. So no, I think it's gotten better. You know, I think it's gotten better. How the hell do I unhide? What are you talking about? Unhide what?
Would you block somebody?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Don't be blocking. Let me see. How the hell do I hide? Who the hell? Oh, you deleted a message. You didn't hide them. You deleted the message. You're all right. Yeah. Yeah, please don't block them. Even if they talk politics, let them talk politics.
Oh yeah, how are
don't
you
block them talking politics. I don't do that here. I don't have to answer politics, but they have a right to talk about it. I'm over the Slay Sander. He's been good for us. I don't think it's not a matter of Slay Sander. This isn't a matter of this isn't. Nobody's saying Rodgers should play because Slay. Nobody likes Slay. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the simple fact that your team is a young team and that you want the young players to play because you're also building for 3-4 years down the road, and Slay is not a part of the long-term plans. That's the truth. You know?
Right.
So why are we hiding people? We shouldn't be hiding people.
Yeah, how do you hide somebody by mistake if you weren't going to hide them? That makes no sense. But
Rolf Philly says a lot of people disrespect Slay's play. He's been a top cornerback since. Yeah, I don't know if you people take, well, let's play Isaiah Rodgers. Oh, therefore you're disrespecting Slay. That's not how I look at it at all. I look at it like you got to do what's best for your team. And if you got a young guy who's ascending and you have an older guy who's either at his peak or coming down and getting older, may not be in the plans long term, then why would you not play the young guy? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's how I look at it. Let's see. I think Huff is a guy that has to stay hot, especially as a pass rusher. He'd only had 2 more snaps on the year than Brandon Graham. I think Huff is a guy to stay hot. Well, he has to get hot. I mean, he hasn't gotten hot yet, but if he does get hot, hopefully
you signed a guy that has never had this many snaps in his career, and he's been a heavy rotational third down edge rusher from the Jets. That's what he was, with more snaps under his belt. I mean, they didn't even start Bryce Huff, and technique wise, he wasn't even right. They had him in a 2-point stance. Where how do you get any get off or explosiveness off the line like that? I mean, it's just like I can't even blame the player. I blame Howie for why did they, give him that much money? Like, was he even worth that much money? Or were teams even fighting for Bryce Huff in free agency? I doubt it. Not for that much, probably not.
Right.
But,
yeah. No, I hear you. I'm trying to unhide him. Ian is blocking. Ian is blocking people. Well, please don't block anybody. I'll have to check in after the show's over. Yeah, don't block people. I don't care if they talk politics. I really don't. If I was able to not get so censored, I would respond to some of them. Splendid says, Daz, I unhit him. He should be. Yeah, he's unhidden. Diddy did over my Dandelion. Thank you for super chat. Joey's spitting tobacco tonight. It burns when he. I don't know. I don't understand. Eagles landed says, Dad, shut up. Oh, boy, you guys are crazy tonight. Brandon says, thank Washington for DeJean. Washington? Oh, because they trade him? Yeah. Let's see. Slay has gotten burnt several times now. We thank him for his service. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think when you have young guys that are playing or could possibly be on the same level as a veteran guy that's older like that and not going to be a long term, I think you got to play him. I think the Eagles have a responsibility to play those young guys, to be honest with you.
It's true, yeah.
Dylan Jordan, David Superchat goes, wonder if they're trying to stash Rodgers to keep him from having to pay big money at the end of the season. Well, the problem is you got to pay him. He's a free agent. So if Rodgers feels like he's a starter somewhere, he is not going to sign with the Eagles no matter what. And he's just going to go somewhere else. He's going to go somewhere that he feels that he could start, So you got to play him. Wicked One, David Superchat goes, apparently the Panthers are open to trading Sanders and Clowney. Bring home Sanders or not. I would consider it. If you're going to run the way they're running, I would absolutely do it. You know what I mean? I would. Would you bring Miles back?
Yeah, I mean, look, if they plan to use another back and he's the best one that, he's the best one out there, well, he's around that knows this team and knows the coaching staff and knows the players. And if they have a plan for it and they're not going to waste it, then fine,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, those are my thoughts too. Trying to see, is there anything else here we've missed or haven't talked about that we need to talk about?
What happened?
I said, I'm just going through to see if there's anything else that we haven't talked about that we need to talk about.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think we're good. I think we're ready for tomorrow. What are your plans for tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm just streaming the game tomorrow. I got to do some yard work later, earlier in the morning. But other than that, I'll be streaming the game tomorrow. So
yeah. Chris Kaufman Jr., thank you for super chat. He goes 45 to 55 run pass ratio, and we'll do well. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's around the perfect. I think that's around the perfect amount of stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I said 34, I'll say 34-13 Eagles, something like that. Wombat has 37-10. So yeah,
32-17 maybe.
Yeah, I think we are good to go. All right, guys. Well, listen, we are going to get out of here. We hope you have a great night. Tomorrow we'll be streaming. I'll be streaming early. I'll be doing the the Cowboys Falcons and Washington game. We'll be flipping on back and forth with that. So look for all those tomorrow, guys. With that, we are going to get out of here. We will talk to you later. Peace.
Peace.
2 minutes to go. You have plenty of time.
Come on.
Oh, shit! Dad! No!
It's over! It's over! This game is over! Cut it off! It's over!
Fuck.
Congratulations, Green Green Bay. Congratulations, Green Bay. Congratulations, Green Bay.
I said run the ball.
Congratulations, Green Bay. Dak Prescott, you need to be fired today. That was on you, Dak. That was on you, Dak. That was on you, Dak.
I said run the ball.
That was on Dak Prescott.
Trying to
Trying to feed the CeeDee Lamb. Trying to feed the CeeDee Lamb. You tried to feed the CeeDee Lamb. You got to give it to CeeDee Lamb. God. It's over. It's over, Dak. Put Trey Lance in the game. Trey Lance can't do worse than you.
I'm an idiot because I buy into this shit. I buy into this shit. Because here's the thing. I am a grown-ass man. And I talk the talk. It is killing me.
I feel it coming. I feel like it's going to take Jerry Jones taking it. Cut it off. It's over. Fuck.